Hello again, nerds. It is another music reaction video. This is going to be two songs because I couldn't make up my mind which one I wanted to listen to first, so we're just going to do both of them. And it's been very difficult to avoid these two songs. We're doing Corey Taylor, Black Eyes Blue, and CMFT, there it is. CMFT Must Be Stopped. Those are the two songs we're doing, and this is an intro. Okay. I don't know that we need to do a history for anything to do with Corey Taylor. Not gonna lie, his history is pretty well known at this point. Corey Taylor is the lead vocalist for two very large bands, one of which being Stone Sour, the other which being Slip freaking Knot. And so that makes him doing a solo record a very interesting situation, because what is it going to sound like? We don't even know yet. Well, I'm sure a lot of you do, because you've probably already listened to these songs. Like I said, it was very difficult for me to not listen. I love Corey Taylor. I love everything he's done in Slipknot and Stone Sour. And I don't even know what to expect out of this. This is something that he was talking about for months leading up to the actual production of the record. He did say that he wanted to do as many genres as possible, kind of rolled up into one for this record. So if that was actually the end result, I don't know. Again, we're going to find out very soon. I do know on the CFNM, whatever, the one where Corey MF Taylor must die or must be stopped or whatever, I do know that what's his name? I can't think of his name. Tech Nine, there it is. Tech Nine does guest on that song. So, what else do I know about this? That's really all I know. That's my history with Corey Taylor. Is I discovered Slipknot when they released the self-titled record, one of the first CDs. One of the first aggressive music CDs, I guess I should say. One of the first metal records I ever bought was the Digipack version of that first Slipknot record. It was that, and Mudvayne and Mushroomhead were the first three really like heavy ones. Limp Bizkit, I guess technically, but that is what it is. Yeah, so I memorized that record. I memorized Iowa. I've memorized almost every Slipknot record since. And again, just Corey Taylor, one of the best lyricists ever. I'm going to stop gushing and we're going to get into this. So we're going to start with Black Eyes Blue. And then we're going to go to CMFT Must Be Stopped. Oh, wait, hold up. Expectations. What do I expect out of this song? I expect this to sound a lot like Stone Sour, not gonna lie. I feel like that is the most likely scenario. Gonna be a little more radio rock friendly, but by and large, I expect there to be some strong parallels between what he does on this solo record versus what he does for Stone Sour. So that's that. Aside from that, I have no other expectations. So now let's get into it. So far we have some of the same musicians here. That guitar player, not the one sitting on the couch, but the other. is in Stone Sour, so I was not off base with my expectations. As far as we'll listen a little bit further and we'll get into some of the production. All right, so we got a little bit of it there. We're suffering from rock production syndrome, man. There is no bass in this mix. I have it, obviously, because it's picking up on this microphone. I have it pretty loud on my speakers. The only time I heard the bass so far was that little bit where it was the only instrument that was that played a brand new note. So this right here. Right there, where he goes up to the third and everybody else goes down to the root of the chord. That's the only time it sounds like there's a bass. I mean, yeah, there's kind of hints of it here and there, but rock production syndrome. I'm gonna put that on a shirt. As far as the tone for everything else, the drums sound amazing. I think the drum tone, he's learned a lot from working with 3 drummers in his main band, and whoever, I can't remember who the drummer is for Stone Sour right now, but there's definitely some great production going on the drums. I feel like there's a little bit, I would have done things slightly different though on the guitar, because it's a little tinny. I didn't play the disclaimer before we got into this. We'll play the disclaimer before we get into the next one. So I know what I'm talking about, but the guitar feels a little thin to me. I feel like there's a better way to have done that you could also bring up the bass as well as the bottom end of the guitar, and kind of fill out that mix a little bit more. But as far as sonics go, as far as where everything's laying in the mix, everything sounds really well. Performance-wise, our focus should be on the vocalist for this because this is the vocalist's vanity project, so that makes sense that we're not going crazy with any of the performance on any of these instruments. I still feel like you can do a good, solid bass part and mix a good, solid bass part and not detract from the vocals, but that's just me being a bass player first and foremost. So far, everything sounds really good. And his voice. So the thing I love about Corey Taylor and is not just the fact that he has such an amazing voice, but I do think he's one of the best lyricists in all of rock and roll. Just the way he can turn a phrase, the way he can write something so incredibly personal and introspective, but still make it feel like he's writing it for the person that's listening to it and not for himself is second to none. The dude is, without a doubt, one of the best people at doing that. Here, though, it feels a little phoned in. It's very, very probable he's just doing this record to have fun and just doing this record because he needed to scratch an itch. So there probably wasn't a whole lot of time spent on these lyrics. Maybe some of the songs on this record were. I just feel like this lyrically is not as deep as he usually gets, but we still have half of a song to listen to, so let's keep going. That's a really cool solo. Not really a solo, just a bridge section, instrumentally speaking. I really dug. Now we're into the solo. Pretty radio rock solo style. Ba, ba, ba. All right, let's talk a little bit of video production real quick. So I don't know if this is going to change or not, but as we're watching, this is all in 4:3 ratio. So this is a standard definition ratio, at least, meaning they cut the sides off of their wider image. And yeah, the whole video, I kind of just noticed this about 30 seconds ago, which is kind of strange. But I was listening to the song before, and now I'm paying a little bit more attention to the video. It's very interesting. So the visually, the idea is that he's trapped in this little house, right? So taking that one step further, the director shot this in a more narrow aspect ratio to add to the confined feel of the video. I feel like that's very, very appropriate, and it's a very nice, subtle touch. I think that was smart on all parts. And I bet it pushes out at the end. No, doesn't push out. Huh. Like I dig. So this is mediocre Corey Taylor. In a lot of ways, this is mediocre Corey Taylor. That's not to say this is bad. That is to say that he has done so much better in both of his other bands that I feel like this is just him. Again, probably doing this to scratch an itch. So before we get any further into this, we should definitely go back here. And then, yeah, I have this video to play for you because I forgot to play it before the last one. Before we get any further into this video, let's get a couple of things out of the way. First, if you want to listen to this song or watch this video in whole without my commentary, then go do that. This is not the place for that. This is a reaction and analysis video. We're here for a conversation, not for a watch party. I'm going to be stopping this video, talking over certain parts, and replaying certain parts, so get used to it. Second, my analysis is my opinion. My opinion comes from a place of knowledge. I have over 30 years of musical training and experience, 20 years as a professional musician and producer, and almost 10 years as a video producer and director. I know what I'm talking about. All that being said, we will be discussing the performance of the song by the musicians, production of the song by the producer, and production of the video, should that apply, by the director and anyone else involved. Now, I return you to your regularly scheduled reaction video. Thanks, nerds. All right, so sorry that happened when it did, but it had to happen at some point because I was gonna. Well, what qualifies you to make those comments? I've been doing this a long time. All right, so performance-wise on this, I feel like the bass player was doing as he was told, and probably was doing a lot of stuff that he wouldn't have done if it had been left up to him, because it seemed the little bit of flavor we did get from him I really did like, but it was kind of not enough for my taste. But it still was a fine song. Like, it's just totally listenable music. I really like Corey Taylor, so even mediocre Corey Taylor is good in my book. I just don't see this outshining anything either of his other projects. I don't think this will outshine either of them, just because those are so much more quality. I'm gonna stop harping on that, and we're gonna get back into this, and we're gonna go and click this. Look at that. It's so convenient. They must have known I was going to be doing this reaction video today. So this is the one with Tech 9. Expectations for this one. I expect this to be a better song. That's why I saved it for a second. I expect this to be a much better song, not for the least of which because Tech 9's on it, but because this is what he led with. This, I mean, technically both of these songs came out in very close succession, but this was the one that he was advertising for the release, and he just happened to also say, oh yeah, by the way, I'm also releasing this other single, Black Eyes Blue. So I expect this to be a better song. I expect there to be a little bit more instrumentation, a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Showboating, I guess. So that's what's going on here. We're gonna do this. Oh, come on. Give me the full screen. Full screen.
Attention. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention?
A little more aggro already. Corey MF Taylor. Get it? CMFT? Oh, go away, TV. A little more groovy. That's so interesting. There's even a better mix this time around. There is obviously a bass in this mix. It doesn't just sound like the bottom end of the guitar. That's what the bass player is playing. He is just playing the bottom end of the guitar, but it's a better mix. So I wonder if it's the same producer. I would imagine it's the same producer, but maybe not. And we're about to hear some lyrics from good old Corey motherfucking Taylor.
Get ready for madness. Take a fucking pull as I grab this. Money's great and everything, but it's nothing to a huge disappointment. Cross the line and then you're finding unemployment. Stick around and that'll challenge your enjoyment. Wait a moment. This whole time I was hoping for an emotional reunion. Another fucking quick annulment. Can't hurt a simple when it's burning the brass. Quite accustomed to getting my way and kicking your ass. Now that I'm disgusted, tell the world I can't be trusted. Who the hell bailed me out when I got fucking busted? I'll tell you, nobody. Say it again, nobody. The same motherfuckers who gave me no chance to be the raven some bitch with a 20-year rich. It's beginning to look a lot like another crazy birthday. I don't need nothing. I said I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing. So what do you want to hear? I don't need nothing. I said I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing. Who do you want to hear?
All right, so that must be Kid Bookie. All right, so lyrically, this is a little bit less of a song. I'm not gonna lie, but as far as like groove and production, we're stepping up from that last song, kind of like what I was expecting. The the delivery of his lyrics for his verse, I was getting this weird like almost what's that stupid rapper's name? Blue something. I can't even think of the kid's name anymore. It's garbage. The guy that doesn't rap to the beat just kind of says things, and ignores the beat and at times, or even walks all over the beat and does a completely different thing. Blueface, that's his name, Blueface. That was almost Blueface-esque in how bad it was with the delivery of those lines. Like, I really appreciate when Corey does the more hip-hop kind of styled lyrics, as evidenced by the fact that I have memorized the entirety of the first Slipknot record. But that was not good. Instrumentally, I'm digging this song a lot more, and like it's more anthemic as far as the delivery of the chorus vocals. This is very much like if you listen to this record, so this song specifically off of this record, and you talk shit about Five Finger Death Punch, then you aren't really listening to either of those bands, because this song, at the very least, this song and anything from Five Finger Death Punch catalog could be on stage together at the same show, no problem. There is way... Again, we've talked about this. I don't mind Five Finger. I think that Zoltan Bathory is a hell of a guitar player. I think Ivan Moody is an amazing vocalist. I just think the two of them together, well, them and the rest of the band, make pretty mediocre music. It's not terrible. It's totally listenable. There's actually some really great grooves in a lot of the stuff that they do, but this is on par with that kind of mediocrity. So yeah, we're gonna keep going. Hey, listen to that bass, man. All right, so let's talk performance a little bit. Let's talk performance. We're going to go back over because I really like this Kid Bookie verse so far. So performance-wise, this is how you do interplay with stringed instruments. Like, there's so much great going for this song. It's unfortunate that those lyrics for that first verse were so poorly done. This is how you do interplay. The bass is doing its own thing, and it is, granted, generally speaking, when you have interplay for rock and roll like this, the focus instrument is going to be the guitar. But for this verse, they kind of flopped that on its head. The guitar becomes the accent instrument with the upbeat stuff. And the bass becomes the driving instrument, but that kind of makes sense because it's a rapper doing this verse. So I would imagine the Tech 9 verse will be something similar. But the bass is in lockstep with the drums. They have found their pocket together, if you will. And then the guitar comes in just to accent. And the lyric, well, the delivery of the lyrics, I wasn't listening to the words this time around, but I will now. But either way, the delivery was a little more stylized, a little more appropriate, I guess, for the flow of the song.
Let me introduce myself to those that don't know. The fuck is happening? Sad to speak, you heard? Hello. Shit is deeper than words, yeah. Loop the evil with evil people, but deeper screaming. Every picture deep in the earth. I ain't afraid of death. Make a pact with a shame and then take his head. Major steps, ancient granite to text. The basic man that wake his hand and pray to the sun and hope for the rain again. Aliens on the knock for the track for the pain of head. But you can blame Corey Taylor for the
That's cool.
With a lot of hip hop with an Ego. Eminem, Tech 9, and a bunch of all I favor. Nowadays it just seems like you get called a hater. It's all the mess, you call the music, you pulled me loose. Call me stupid, but at least you're calling me something. I'm sick of this shit. I'm running away and I quit. Never to want to be seen as other than I'm gonna killing his bitch. I don't need nothing. I said I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing.
And now he's calling in all of his rock and roll buddies. A nice little bridge. John 5. Oh, nice. That was OTEP. Another band, speaking of mediocre. I like that it's not... So I like that it's not like super cookie cutter verse, chorus, verse. It is a little bit of that. There's definitely a lot of ABA kind of structure here, but these bridge sections, wow, words. These bridge sections are really nice because usually in this traditional ABA kind of orchestration, arrangement, that's the word I was like. In the traditional ABA orchestration, it's usually something like AAB, ABC, the C being the bridge. And it's just a singular bridge section, then you go back into the verse. This is two different bridge sections, kind of brought together, and then likely we'll have a solo. Usually in like a rock and roll song, you get the solo and the bridge are kind of one and the same. The previous song and this one so far, that has not been the case. So even though it is this really radio friendly rock and roll stuff, it's still kind of playing with the elements a lot, and I definitely have respect for that. All right, now see, even another bridge, just groovy.
Look at them go, look at them flow, melting their faces. Look at the flow, taking the dough, catching no cases. Cooking the drove, pushing the flow, king of the matrix. I'm a stinker, I place this, middle finger to the races. Tongue game sharp enough to Marv Freddy. When the drum bangs check, don't make your jaw heavy. Then the storm came, waving, breaking y'all levies. Did you give me tall fitty? I reply with already. Listen, it's not a grammatical, everything is connected all over the globe. Hey, speaking of lyrical,
Nice. Of course, Tech has to do crazy fast lyrics. Just the amount of people that he got to do brief little cameos, that's making me laugh so much. Again, the drums are mixed very, very well. I feel like the guitar still feels a little thin to me. Not quite as bad as the last song. Baby metal even. No shit! That was dude from Maximum the Hormone. That's awesome. Even a little cameo from Maximum the Hormone. That's badass. Oh, and then we get to... Huh? What about Baby Metal? Yeah, I said Baby Metal. It's hilarious. And then Paul Savini, the guy that helped him make his mask, the epic horror movie special effects guy was in there briefly. The video was a lot of fun. The mostly naked dancing girls was kind of meh, whatever. But like all of those little cameos from all of his buddies, and then there was a really cool effect on the Kid Bookie verse. Let's see if I can find... Oh, it was right before that, I think. Video production-wise. Right there. So, this looks like... So, we're going to talk a little video production real quick. That fire behind his head is not actually fire behind his... Well, I mean, it is fire. It's just not actually behind his head in that shot. This is a composite shot. I'm being invaded by my dog. You going to get a drink, bud? Go on. Go on. You're good. So this is a composite. It almost looks like it's a three-way composite, but I'm pretty sure it's just two, because this line here is all part of this same shot. So he's on a ramp that's heading down that presumably goes underneath this concrete, and this fire right here is pretty much superimposed, I guess is an appropriate way to say that. So what they had to do was they had to turn him into an alpha channel. They had to cut him out from the background effectively in order to make this look like it's behind him. And they did a pretty solid job, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's a little sloppy right here on his shoulder. Kind of cut off part of his shoulder. But like around his head... That's really, and it's such a brief thing, and it's punctuation almost. Like there was a lot of work put into this, like half a second worth of a clip, but it works really well. I mean, you heard me exclaim when we got to it when it initially happened. That's It's a really cool, simple thing, a simple looking thing to do. So yeah, video production. There you go. Got into a little bit of everything for this one. I think that's where we're going to end it, though, nerds. So thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully we don't have anything that's going to mess this
Further
up.
into this video, let's get a
Yes,
couple
we
of things
do.
out of the way. First, if you want to listen...
Stop that. Okay, sorry. So, thank you very much, nerds, for joining me for another reaction video. Hopefully you... I mean, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying that this is mediocre Corey Taylor, and also for comparing his verse on the CMFT Must Be Stopped song to Blueface, because Blueface is garbage and Corey Taylor is good. But either way, I stand by my statements. And I still love Corey Taylor, even though I don't think this is his best work at all. I dig the additional pieces to it, but I feel like Corey has done so much better. I know I'm still going to get hate for that. Either way, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, nerds. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. It's really, really simple. You just click the subscribe button right down there. Or here in just a second, I'm going to show you another subscribe button right here on the screen. So you can do that. Don't forget to check out other stuff that's going on the channel by clicking one of the two boxes right there below my face. Do all of the stuff, all of the things. Check out the website, generallynerdy.net, or the Patreon if you want to support and help me keep continuing to do these things. Sorry, first day with the new tongue. Patreon.com/generallynerdy is the Patreon. So thank you again very much, nerds. Before we head out, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.